What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel, and today this is kind of an interesting one, but I'm very excited to dive into it because we are unboxing from the Jakks specific 2.5-inch Simpsons line. We are unboxing Itchy and Scratchy, everybody's, well, I guess everyone in Springfield's favorite cartoon, cat and mouse. And what's interesting about this, Travis Fowler actually had this idea, and I saw Kyle Peterson also do this, so I think it's a genius idea. He said, these characters are going to be a little bit smaller in stature. I think they would fit well with the 5-inch line and pairing these into your 5-inch collection. I think it's a genius idea. So I saw Itchy and Scratchy at Target. I think these are $5 each, so much more affordable. And I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I picked them up, and now I'm going to have Itchy and Scratchy in my Simpsons collection. Obviously, I'm not collecting the 2.5-inch line. I think it's great, and I think it's awesome, especially if anyone's collecting on a budget. To me, it's the absolute way to go, but it's not something I'm going to dive into fully. But these are definitely cool. Of course, we got to look at Itchy here. The instigating mouse, as it were, he's got his accessory there, so it actually does come with some stuff there. And this line is actually kind of a good one. You got Krusty the Clown, Itchy and Scratchy, Bullseye Bart. That's why he's got the one eye closed, which everyone was kind of, I know a lot of people are kind of confused by that. If I get the camera to focus, why is one eye closed? Because he's about to launch his slingshot. And then, of course, Sideshow Bob. We haven't gotten Sideshow Bob in the 5-inch scale. Hopefully that happens. I think that would definitely be a fun one. But as you can see here, Itchy still has pretty normal articulation at the arms anyway. It looks like he's got neck articulation, so a little bit of articulation for these guys, not a lot. But again, that's perfectly fine, I think, for a Simpsons figure. And of course, he's got his big mallet there, which is really cool. Like I said, the boxes on these are relatively small, but again, these characters don't need to be big. So I think it is kind of a fun idea for sure. And I kind of wonder, maybe we'll get a Poochie down the road. That would be kind of fun. I think Super 7 did a Poochie, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, we got Scratchy here. He's got a big mallet, which is awesome. So they both have a weapon of sorts, which I do enjoy. Same cross-sell or roster, as they say, on the back here. Not a lot difference there. I don't know if that might be a different... Nope, that's the same exact picture of Santa's little helper there. So nothing too different there. But again, like I said, I think this is a fun idea and a cool way to get these guys in the line. I do know they also did a Simpsons Family box set, I believe, around the launch of this line. And we got a Santa's little helper. And I think Snowball too, their cat. And I think that's the only time those have been made. So if you pick those up, I think they would scale with this with the regular line as well, just because obviously the animals are going to be a little bit smaller. But like I said, I think it'd be cool to get Poochie down the road too. These are not ones I'm going to pick up a lot. I do enjoy the 2.5-inch line, but get my scissors ready because I already see the twist ties. I already know what's coming. But again, not one I feel like I always need. So of course we will dive into those as we can. Not a lot of Simpsons news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con this past week. We did see that they are doing a King Kong Homer, which had been rumored for a minute, of course, from the Treehouse of Horror, and a Fly Bart, kind of also from the Treehouse of Horror, where Bart becomes like a human fly. Those are more going to be deluxe style, which are, I think, like the $25 price point figures. Hopefully they show up a little bit better. I know the first wave did not show up great, but now they're all showing up at Target, so I guess that's okay. As long as they show up, I don't really care. I did find all of mine on Amazon, which I believe they also had them on Big Bad. Some people found them at GameStops and stuff, so they were available. But honestly, I would be okay with them doing all Treehouse of Horror in that deluxe style, because I know the Vampire Burns was really, really good. And if we can get King Kong Homer, Fly Bart, and then maybe like a Devil Flanders down the road, I think that'd be a fun one. So I'm all about it. And, of course, I'm going to dive into these real quick here. Not real quick, painstakingly long, because it's not easy to open figures nowadays. Of course, we got tape, as always, which is fine. We got, of course, all the Simpsons family kind of packaged on the boxes here. Like I said, I know Travis, co-host of the TB Toycast, is collecting both lines. I immediately opted to not collect this line simply because, my goodness, this is not wanting to open. I knew it was going to be too much, and I think that's the hard thing. Kind of like with He-Man Masters of the Universe, when they did the Origins and they did the Masterverse line. I initially dove into Origins, then Masterverse came around. I'm like, oh, I got to get these. And then I kind of like regretted that and went back to Origins. Mostly because I'm like, I can't really justify doing both. And I think you could probably only do that if you're like a massive Motu fan. And I'm more of a casual Motu fan. So Again, everybody's going to be a little bit different on their own there. So let's see. So he's actually got a little bit of waist articulation, kind of. More like, I don't know if it's totally waist, but his arms, pretty decent there. Side to side on the head, very, very cool. And, of course, his hand looks like it's going to be able to hold that mallet. And it's not really a mallet, it's more of like a caveman club, I would say. Overall, not bad, though. Not bad. I feel like standing up might be difficult with these, simply because this mallet's going to be so heavy. Yeah, unfortunately, that might be an issue. If I can balance it just right, I think it might be okay, but that mallet's going to make it hard. Well, let's try without the mallet. Let's see how that does. Because that could also be an issue if you plan to display these. If they don't stand up well, then, well, there you go. Without the mallet, or the club, I keep calling it a mallet. Scratchy comes with the mallet. Another thing, too, I know Travis hit me up when this happened. He goes, hey, which one's which? Which one's the cat and which one's the mouse? He knew their names. He knew they were Itchy and Scratchy. But I was like, I don't know. Now it makes sense that Scratchy was the cat, because cats do scratch you. I guess a mouse maybe could. But yeah, I didn't know either. And I was like, I don't know. And we ended up looking it up and realized, okay, the cat's Scratchy, Itchy is the mouse. All that makes sense. But again, you learn some all the time. Pretty cool. Not bad. Not a ton bells and whistles with these. But I don't think they need to have that. So let's look at Scratchy here. He looks pretty good. Like I said, I think the quality of these are great. Better articulation on the arms than I was expecting. They can go around. And then a little bit of leg movement, not a lot. That we do have articulation with the tail. Itchy also has articulation with the tail. So again, for a $5 price point, can't complain too much with these. But yeah, that's Scratchy all day long. Let's see if he can hold his mallet. This is actually a mallet. Not the best quality mallet. Looks like it's easily going to be able to break, but hopefully not. Now let's see if he'll stand up. Oh, he will. So there we go. Not all bad. Looks like Scratchy's going to be the MVP of this unboxing. Let's see if I can maneuver a little bit better with Itchy. Well, no. Maybe I can balance the mallet down. That works. Right? Okay. I'll take it. I'll buy that. Right. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, to me this is cool. This is a fun way to get both these characters in the collection, because I feel like if they put them in the 5.5 inch or the 5-inch line, not 5.5, just 5-inch line, they might have been packed together anyway, and it might have been the exact same figures. It's hard to say, but getting them for $5 each at $10 total is a little bit better than maybe a $13 or $14 total. But again, everything goes up in price. I do know the Simpsons have went up $1. I believe they were $12.99. They are now $13.99, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, that may be a little bit different based on the area you live in, but it is what it is. Prices go up, and sometimes you have to pick and choose, and that's where you just have to pick what makes you happy. I say that all the time. You got to find your joy. You got to find the stuff that makes you happy, and kind of go from there, because it is what it is at times. But I like these. I like these a lot. I think these are a perfect addition to the collection. I will be prominently putting them with all my Simpsons figures. And I've got a bunch more Simpsons to unbox. All of Series 3, all of Series 4, and I believe Wave 5, which features Edna Krabappel, Troy McClure. Who else is it? Oh, my goodness. There's 5 characters total. Hockey Bart, and I think Grandpa Simpson. Will hopefully be available sometime soon. I have not spotted any of those yet, but this Simpsons line is not an easy one to find, I've noticed, and hopefully that becomes a little bit better. I'm starting to see Target picking up a few more figures, but it's always like the same ones that everyone already has. It's always like Homer and Bart, and you might see an occasional blue shirt Bart, and you might see an occasional Marge or Home Run Homer, but not a lot of variety, so hopefully that does change. But let me know what you guys think. Are you collecting the Simpsons line? Are you all in on both lines like Travis? Maybe you're just in on the 5-inch line like myself. Well, that being said, would Itchy and Scratchy be part of your collection moving forward? Because I feel like these work great with the other scaled figures. So what do you guys think? drop it in the comments down below and let me know if you're all in on Simpsons. Maybe you collected the Simpsons Playmates line. Those were always a lot of fun back in the day. Probably the best Simpsons line of all time, in my opinion. Hopefully this one surpasses that. I guess only time will tell, because I believe that went 16 waves of 6 figures plus several play sets, so they made almost everybody. But hopefully Jakks will continue on and continue to make great Simpsons figures. I guess time will tell on that. But what do you guys think? I think these are a lot of fun, and I'm happy to have them. And hopefully we'll see more fun stuff from the Simpsons line. Like I said, at SDCC, they didn't announce a lot, but I think that's okay at times. But let me know what you guys think. Of course, Monday had a really fun unboxing. The Hastel Toy Grapplers and Gimmicks Coco Beware. And then, of course, last week was a bunch of really fun unboxings as I unboxed the Automorphing Green Ranger from the Playmates Power Rangers Reignition line. Not Typhoon, that's not who it was. It was Tugboat, his alter ego, Tugboat, from the Mattel Elite Legends Greatest Hits line. And then, of course, from the DC Multiverse line, the Blue Lantern, Kyle Rayner, all unboxed right here on the channel, so check those out. Of course, check out What's on the Pegs every Saturday to see what I'm finding in my toy hunts, like stuff like this, of course. And then, of course, check out once a month Tales of the Toy Box. I just did a new episode. It should be up now. All about Toy Biz X-Men Series 1. One of my all-time favorite toy lines. It was really fun to do a deep dive into that line. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So check all that good stuff out. And, of course, check out the TV Toycast podcast with me and Travis. I've already talked about him a few times on this video. We drop a new podcast episode every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. We have a different main event covering different toy lines, as well as talking all the news of that particular week. So check that out wherever you get your podcasts. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That's Itchy. That's Scratchy. Yes, I got that correct. And we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.